Namaste. How to identify whether a certain person is grateful by nature or not? How to identify the quality of a certain person? The question is very deep and the answer cannot be given in one video, but I will give you certain clues. First, observe the moon, the mind. What are the influences in the birth chart? On moon. Whether moon is with Rahu, whether moon is with Saturn, whether moon is with Mars, and on top of that, if there are some evil drushtis, such as drushti of Saturn or Mars, or if the moon is associated with the 8th house lord or a 12th house lord or 6th house lord, then the person is not grateful. Then the person may have some bad intentions. You see, many people approach me, they try to reach me, but their intentions are different. They have some hidden agendas. And so I don't respond, I don't pick up all calls. Because you never know. The person generally has a hidden agenda. And these kind of men and women whose moon is afflicted, whose moon is not in good place, in good house, you never know. They may come with some appearances that may appeal you, but in reality, they have some hidden agendas. And the master says, be aware. Be aware of such people. And that is why I don't entertain anybody unless I'm sure that the person is a true gem, an authentic person, a grateful person, a person with no hidden agenda. And let me tell you, 95% of people always have hidden agendas. So it is obvious that out of 100, I have to reject 95. So what I am saying is that always observe the moon. Always observe the placement of not only moon, but the nakshatra lord of the moon. If the nakshatra lord of the moon is retrograde, then again you have to be careful while dealing with such a person. He may not have good intentions. For example, if your moon sign is Sagittarius and Jupiter is retrograde, and on top of that Jupiter is placed in 6th, 8th or 12th, you have to be careful with such a person. So, on holistic view of the moon chart as well, you have to observe it. Many times the truth is very hard. People cannot digest it. Tomorrow if you come to me and I see that tomorrow you are going to die, then should I tell you that? Will you be able to digest it? Instead of digesting it, you will start labeling me. Because people cannot digest the truth. They want to hear the truth, but they cannot digest it. And that is why, if you are learning astrology, then I would recommend that please be careful before you say anything, because everybody cannot digest the truth. It always happens. Whatever you are, you will get accordingly. There is a beautiful story. There was an old man standing at the gate of a town. And a young man comes and the old man asks him, "Who are you?" Then the young man says, "I have come from another village, and I was so fed up of those people. Those people were so bad. So I want to know from you, how are people from this village? Are they good?" The old man said, "No, these people are worst. So I would suggest you don't come here. You please go to some other village, because these people are not at all good." So the young man said, "Thank you. Thank you for helping me." And he goes away to some other village. After some time, another young man comes. He must be like me. He says, "Sir, I have come from my village, and actually I am not very happy because the people of my village were so beautiful. They were so loving, and I miss them. But because of some compulsions, I had to leave my village. And I am certain people of this village also will be good. What you say?" And the old man said, "Yes, you are right, young man. The people of this village are very, very good people. They are very kind. They are very compassionate. They are very understanding by nature. And I tell you, you will love the people of my village more, because they are really very good." So the young man says, "Thank you, sir." And then he enters that village happily. Now, while all this was happening, there was a young boy sitting next to that old man. He says to the man, "How come you said to the previous man that the people of this village are bad, and to this man you said the people of this village are good?" And the old man said that the man before this man, he was a man who was ungrateful, who had that habit of always complaining. So if he would have entered my village, he would have done the same thing. But this young man, he was not a complaining person. He was a person who could appreciate others. And so I am sure, even in my village, he will appreciate my people, and he will be happy with my people. So whatever you are is what you get. If you continue to complain, there are so many people on this channel who come and type anything negative. I don't even see all those comments. So what I am saying is that there are people who are ungrateful, who don't have any kind of understanding. They only know how to hurt others, and because they continue to do so, they remain poor. They remain dissatisfied. And when they die, they become ghosts. So their journey is towards downwards. And then there are some beautiful people, very beautiful people, but they are in minority. They know how to appreciate. One who can appreciate others is indeed a man of gem. Because you will observe, negative people never appreciate. Even if the thing is good, they will never appreciate. Instead of appreciating, they will try to point out 10 defects. That is how negative people are. And so they live a life of miseries. So all of this, how you perceive, how you behave, is based on the placement of your moon. Just 10 days ago, a man, he's an old man, he's based in the US, and he reached me through email. And he continued to email me for 3-4 times. So I thought to respond. And then finally we had a small discussion over Zoom. video conferencing. And he's such a beautiful person. He has written a book on consciousness. He is trying to bring certain positive changes in the American society. He has even approached the United Nations because he wants to introduce meditations in schools in the United States. So sometimes I meet such kind of beautiful people. So the whole focus is on the placement of the moon. If moon is placed in the 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, then not necessarily the person is bad or the person is ungrateful. But you have to observe the nakshatra lord of the moon. If the nakshatra lord is placed in 6th, 8th, 12th, then definitely you have to be careful while dealing with such a person. And then, if the nakshatra lord, that is the nakshatra lord of moon, is retrograde, then again that is a negative sign. If you really want to know the true meaning of retrograde, then let me tell you, retrograde is a kind of curse. I know it is a very hard truth. 90% of you may not agree to it. Maybe you would have started condemning me right now. But let me tell you, retrogression or a retrograde planet is like a curse. So the more retrograde planets you have, the more curse you are carrying in this life. But that's a very deep subject. Someday I will make a video, separate video on retrogression. In this video, I just wanted to touch on the topic of moon, the placement of moon, and how a bad placement of moon nakshatra lord, or a bad state of moon nakshatra lord can actually make a person ungrateful, a person with hidden agenda, a person who comes by talking goody goody, but in reality he has a hidden agenda. He is like a wolf. And by the grace of the Master, so far I have been able to identify such wolves. So I don't respond to them at all. Now and then, some beautiful souls, maybe from the US, maybe from India, maybe from Mexico, sometimes I come across with some real genuine people. And I don't have any agenda. As you all know, I have been sharing from last 4 or 5 years. I have around 400 answers on Quora, 8 published books, and now around 400 videos. And all of this is just to help you realize the true essence of astrology as well as this human life. And since I don't have any agenda, it doesn't matter to me who you are, whether you are a CEO or whether you are a common person. All that matters to me is whether you are really a man of heart. If your heart is beautiful, and let me tell you, the heart is beautiful. What comes between you and the heart is the mind. And that is where the topic of moon comes. And that is why moon chart is very, very significant. Because man is ruled by mind. So 99% of weightage has to go to the moon chart. Because your state of happiness is based on your mind. So moon chart is very significant. In the moon chart, where is the Lord of moon sign placed? in 9th house, 8th house, 6th house. All of this is very important. Enough for now. I will come back with something more beautiful as and when time permits. Jai Sri Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.